Three things in life seem to be always constant in the last couple of months for us: death, taxes,
How
and
is
rain
death
birds.
relevant to us at the moment, Siddharth?
It's constant because rain is killing us every single day with the delays, with all the kind of frustrations that's mounting ever since the Asia Cup. Every match, barring the final, was impacted by rain.
True.
The first ODI in Mohali was also impacted only for 15 minutes, by the way,
Briefly.
due to rain. But in Indore, don't worry, we haven't switched visuals to Colombo or all. It's just represented like Colombo. All the entire outfield is covered.
Right now, you won't be able to distinguish between Palakele, Colombo, or the
Indore.
Holkar Stadium.
Exactly, because it's what started off as a light drizzle now has intensified and become strong rain at this point. The entire ground has been covered, by the way, in Indore.
It reminds me, very much of this blitz of sorts that we saw in Delhi NCR yesterday.
Oh, yes.
We were all taken off guard, and it just came. It was literally a thunder, bolt out of the blue, let's say, and it looks like
Out of the dark, you mean? Because it had become so dark at that time, we all wondered whether our shifts are over or what. Because we had come in bright daylight, suddenly it transformed as it was 7 or 8 o'clock in the night. It was
In
that
fact,
dark.
I was reading some comments from people in Indore. In fact, those stationed about 5 kilometers away from the stadium, they said they could see some bright spots there. But look at this now. It's raining heavily. It's pouring heavily. In fact, we were happy till the point that it was pouring boundaries for Team India, and from that it literally started to pour. So such was the quick transformation of sorts, the quick turnaround, as they say.
Yes,
And,
now it is represent a proper skating rink at the whole casino because the covers have been bought on. There is a layer of covers being enforced even further now. This after India had made a great start with 9.5 overs, 79 for 1. Rituraj Gaikwad being the lone casualty in that entire thing. But Shubman Gill and Shreyas Iyer batted like batters possessed. And Shreyas Iyer in particular, I mean, he looked so good.
Oh yeah, he looks so good. Rather, let's not make it sound as if he's been dismissed.
Before the rain break, I'm saying.
Yeah.
So, if Iyer can get a big knock today, then that final jigsaw puzzle that was left, Iyer's form, can he match it? If that is answered, then
will,
India's every question would have got an answer.
It will complete the jigsaw as we see it, but it will also be a good headache, as was quoted by Rohit Sharma the other day.
I will again
Because
say, yeah.
remember, there is no way you can play Ishan Kishan, KL Rahul, and Shreyas Iyer. You cannot pack the three of them in the 11. And right now, Shreyas Iyer is looking good, not just for a 50, he's not too far away from 1, but he is looking good for that 3-digit mark as well, if you ask me.
Exactly. So, see.
6 boundaries already.
And a 6 if I'm not mistaken.
I don't think there's a 6. I don't think he's smashed a 6 yet, but 6 boundaries. I think there was just one streaky shot over there, but otherwise, no sixes over there.
Shubman has hit 2 sixes. So, but that is the
Shreyas
situation.
Iyer, especially that boundary that he hit over extra cover, the one that he just lifted.
Exactly.
Phenomenal.
I mean, it's a flat deck, agreed, but you have to even capitalize on flat decks also. True. And remember, he got out for 3, run out for no fault of his at Mohali, and that too was a pretty decentish deck. It wasn't a feather bed like how it is in Indore at this time, but imagine if Iyer would have capitalized there also, he wouldn't have had to come to Indore to still seeking answers to the questions that the Indian fans have always asked. So, India are 79 for 1 at this point in time. And remember, if Shreyas Iyer is doing great, he hits 100, maybe a daddy 100, 180, 190.
You going that far?
Maybe looking at the form and looking at the pitch and the Australian bowlers, I don't know whether to expect, because Indore, this kind of wicket is tailor-made. I think I got my estimates horribly wrong, 295. But I think they can very well go past 350, 370 if that's the case. This is a very flat deck. Yeah. Indore in ODIs has always been a flat deck. In test matches, why did they alter that character? I just didn't understand.
Featherbed right now.
Yep. So that's why it is going to be very interesting. And Shubman Gill also, what confidence he also is in. A 70 he hit in the previous game. Now remember, he's only 700 plus runs away from actually breaking Sachin Tendulkar's record. Remember, The most runs in a calendar year is 1,894 that Sachin Tendulkar had made in 1998. You would all know 1998, it was the year of Desert Storm. It was the year Tendulkar was just taking Australia's bowlers to the cleaners consistently.
Well, Abhishek, what we can tell you is that it's still raining in Indore, and unlike that you see in most Indian grounds, you see the entire stadium covered. You see the entire turf over there that's been covered.
Yep.
You see it more so in Sri Lanka. You don't see it in any other part of the world. What a rare scene that we've seen. It's good if you ask me. It's very good. At least you've taken the right lessons from the recently concluded Asia Cup. Lessons you should have taken long back from Sri Lanka cricket, I would say. But you've got the entire outfield that's covered, the pitch covered, the outfield's totally covered, and it is raining heavily at the moment in Indore.
Yep, it is. And remember, the weather forecast it suggested scattered rain. But scattered rain is like, it's 50% won't come, 50% may come. Unfortunately, that 50% proved to be true that it is coming. But prior to that, 1 week or maybe 10 days back, Indore was getting heavy rain. So that's why the weather forecast was not looking good for Indore prior to this. But it brightened up as the match came closer. Remember, India will now be playing matches at the venues where no World Cup
Matches
events-
are being taken.
Yes.
Taking
That is
place.
according to the rules in the ICC. You cannot host games where the World Cup venues are there. So that's why Mohali, Indore and Rajkot, these three places are not going to host the World Cup games. That's why that's there. But the problem is in Indore, there were scattered showers predicted. Unfortunately, those showers came, and it's been close to 15 minutes that we have had a delay at this point, and no sign of rain. But then again, see, localized showers at this point in time might pose a huge issue. Indore does have that problem. One part may be a rain shadow area, the other part you will get rain.
But unfortunately, where the Holkar is, that area does see rain, and that's what we're seeing.
City
at
center,
the
right in the city center.
Moment as well. And since Siddharth mentioned about the fact that you're going to be seeing matches take place only at venues where the World Cup matches will not be taking place, also let me add to that, even the warm-up matches, they'll be played at places which did not get an ODI World Cup game. So you're looking at centers like Trivandrum where you'll have warm-up games take place as well.
Hyderabad is the only exception.
Hyderabad is the only exception.
Even Barsapar, I mean, Bangladesh are playing some games in Barsapar, not warm-up, or maybe ODI.
So stadiums which essentially, and there was a lot of hue and cry about the fact that there's a preference, let's say, that's been given to certain venues. That's to make sort of sort of make up for that. You saw other venues being given the warm-up matches.
Exactly. So Sarat Chandra said entire ground is covered. Yes, it is covered now, and I don't. Covers are all about to come off. And remember, the weather delay, the delay has been such, and because the ground staff got the covers back in very quickly, you are not going to see any overs being lost. Remember, I think there is a grace period of 1 hour. 1.5 hours later, you will see overs being reduced. But since it's a 15-20 minute break, I don't see any overs being lost. You're going to see a repeat of Mohali, where, although in Mohali, the on-air commentators were stating, you need not have gone off. The drizzle was so mild that you need not have gone off and wasted 15 minutes. But here it was raining. The visuals
Yeah,
did show
here
it
you
was
had to
strong
take
rain.
that
Yep.
measure.
So the covers, good news, the covers are coming off, and by my estimate, you are not going to lose any overs at this point in time. You are going to see a full 50 over game, just a 15 to 20 minute delay, and that's why you will see that India will resume their innings.
79 for 1.
79 for 1 with Shreyas Iyer.
But
yes,
let's-
Dex, this is the same ground. This is the same ground where Riley Russo
Russo
made that
smashed
100.
100. Yeah. You're
You're
talking
right.
about the matches that took place at the Asia Cup last year.
No, World T20 where...
And even the Asia Cup, no? You had Australia and South Africa series before the Asia Cup.
Yes. Yes, after Asia Cup, yes.
After Asia Cup. Yes, Riley Russo got that 100. Delhi Capitals then took him as well, but that didn't turn out to be the
Yes.
form that you expected
In this
from
ground,
him.
nothing looks safe, guys. 350 plus thought. I mean, Indore has always been a very, very flat deck. Australia, when I last covered in Indore in 2017, Australia had made 291. India chased it down thanks to Hardik Pandya's wonderful 78. Rohit Sharma hit a 50, and because of that, India won with 5 wickets and with some significant number of deliveries to spare at that time. So nothing is safe in Indore when you look at totals. flat deck, and that's why it's Grenville Durogo is saying it's a shame that this ground has not been selected for the World Cup as it proves to be a high-scoring game. Yeah, I was rather surprised why Indore did not get the chance.
You were only looking at 8 centers, 9 centers to the. Yes, there was a bigger pool of 14 to pick from.
Yeah.
But see, at the end of the day, you were going to miss out on a few venues. And let's be honest, legacy venues, let's say like Mumbai, like Kolkata, Delhi being the national capital. Again, these centers are always going to be picked. So that's a no-brainer over there. Of course, you can like a Chinnaswamy as well for that matter.
Yeah.
But there are other belters, let's say, if you're looking at
Mumbai could be a belter.
Mumbai could be, Bangalore could be, rather will be.
Will be, yes. Bangalore always has been. So that is the thing. Because, see, every association gets their chance to put in their bid whether they want to host a World Cup game or not. I mean, you look at in the past also, all marquee events, Indore has not been part of it. I mean, it's a rather sorry tale. But then if you look at all the other major centers, they have gotten it. For example, this time, Dharamshala missed out on 2016, but they're going to get it in 2023 because Dharamshala is going to host some plenty of games. Say, for example, the marquee game is India-New Zealand. That's going to be there on 22 October. But Dharamshala is facing a different situation in the fact that a fungal infection has absolutely ruined the outfield there. And the ICC has not given a satisfactory review of the outfield. So they are hoping the weather eases off and that the outfield can be prepared and get ready in time. Because remember, Dharamshala has already faced the worst of the situation when you have to look at weather. They had to revamp the entire outfield. But because of one bald patch that did not grow, that is the reason why 11th hour, the test match that was scheduled to be held in Dharamshala went to Indore. And Indore's loss, Dharamshala's loss was Indore's gain. Here, Indore's loss of a World Cup is Dharamshala's gain. Karmic balance is completely satisfied in that sense. So, Indore boundaries are small for an ICC match. At least 70-meter boundary should be there. Really? Do you think so? Why Akhil, at least 70 meter? If it's a 65, then in that case, if that's the ICC rules, Auckland should never qualify.
Yeah.
Auckland should never qualify because the third man and fine leg boundaries are 45 meters.
Even at times, places like the Adelaide Oval as well don't present
55 meters.
Exactly. Don't present to you the biggest boundaries. You saw that at the World Cup. Let's not forget, some of the boundaries were just about 60-62 meters.
Yes. Sir, is rain a threat? Yes, in the ODI World Cup. Yes, let me break the news to you. Yes, rain is a threat because in October, you're going to see a northeast monsoon that's going to start and Chennai will get impacted. So you hope and pray that the rain stays away in Chennai in October because...
Even Hyderabad
not that much because it's slightly interior. But yes, Chennai, coastal area, northeast monsoon, it does get hit. So that's why... See, unseasonal rain. Who would have thought we would have had that kind of storm in Delhi yesterday? In September, normally I don't see any kind of storms. But it did happen. Nagpur, for example, central India is getting inundated because of unseasonal rains. And that's why it's a big issue that is there. So I think all the covers are coming off.
Yeah.
Most of them are off.
The peeling of the covers. In fact, any moment now, just about 10 minutes there, you could expect like a quick inspection of sorts to take place. You're not looking at any overs being lost and resumption of play anytime soon now.
Yep.
And it does turn out to be the kind of break that we saw in the first ODI as well. And maybe now it's becoming a trend in international cricket, especially ODIs. If you're playing in the subcontinent, you'll see these frequent interruptions. At least this time of the year, it's turning out to be that way.
Yeah, Akhil, I think I can do that. I'll read the new rules for this World Cup. Already gave the curator rules. Some guidelines that boundary should be 70 meters in grass. But again, those are guidelines.
You may not.
That is a bit of an interpretation thing in that sense. Yes, we will do that. I mean, you did one thing, right? On the curators, this thing that new rules have been assigned to the curator that they have to do something on those 70 meters. Maybe in that sense, but that means it's a disadvantage for all the grounds. Adelaide can't
do. Again, there are limitations as well with certain grounds because they're not just limited to one sport. They also cater to other sports as well, which is where the limitation comes in with certain grounds.
Yeah, I mean, Auckland in particular, I mean, how can you suddenly have a 70-meter boundary all across? Because remember, Auckland Eden Park is not a cricket ground, it's a rugby ground. And you remember, for the cricket ground, the stands can be moved. So the stands are moved, it then becomes rectangular and then you have a rugby ground. You close some part of the stands, it then becomes a cricket ground. So that is how it is. So I will have to just interpret that and read it and give you a confirmation as to what it is, Akhil. So thanks. We will check that up soon. So that is the situation, and I think as far as the Asian Games is concerned, just like the Asia Cup, you're not seeing an India-Pakistan final. I'm sorry. So India versus Pakistan in the Asian Games
Is also not happening.
is also not happening. So it's India versus Sri Lanka yet again in the women's section, which tomorrow is the gold medal match. It's the gold medal match that's there tomorrow, India versus Sri Lanka. Let's see how that happens. For ICC rules, will India give away their home advantage? You all remember what England did. Did England really give away their home advantage in 2019? They were playing on flat decks.
If you ask me, I think what Akash is asking, if there is a home advantage, the crowd plays an advantage, I would say, into the hand the Indian team.
Yeah.
But otherwise, as far as conditions are concerned, I don't think there is a condition advantage to India, because all these sides, given the IPL and the fact that you have so many bilateral series taking place, I don't think that ways conditions are going to be a challenge, and that ways I don't think acclimatizing could really be an issue for any of the teams, given the amount of cricket that you've seen been played in India.
Exactly. So yeah, I mean,
Especially the Aussies.
first,
Especially the Aussies. They were here 6 months back. They're going to continue to be here, by the way. They're playing this 3-match series. They will play the whole of World Cup. Then they'll play 5 T20Is as well.
the Aussie players have spent more time in India than they even spend in Australia. Think about that. Because from March onwards, March till August, they were in England. Then they have come back to India in September. September till November, they are going to be there. Think about it. They have been away for a long, long time. And the World Cup has been played in October, November for the very first time ever in India. ODI World Cup, I'm saying. When was the last time you saw that? So that's why it's gonna be a very, very important couple of matches now, because now we are into World Cup season now. Now there is no other way.
Yeah, teams have started to come.
27th is the last international, the warm up before the warm up. Then from 29th September onwards until November 19th, World Cup, World Cup, World Cup, World Cup. So Gopal Krishnan says, why is Spencer Johnson looking ineffective? He was very impressive in the 100 league. But again, the 100, that's a very fickle yardstick to have. This is international cricket. You will be found out. And remember, Spencer Johnson in these conditions could
Always going to be a challenge. Even the best would have struggled, yeah, given the fact that you're not getting any assistance in the air, nothing from the deck as well.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, even the Indian bowlers, by the way, may not necessarily have a good day in the field today, because it does look like, one track that is only going to suit the batters.
Yep. We should have a resumption time soon. That is what has been said. And the entire ground, I think, the covers have totally come off. But this is earlier today. They're showing the old visuals at this point in time. So let's take one or two more comments before we call it quits. I can't see anything else.
I think we've taken most of
Yeah,
them.
Stark will play the final ODI, Akash Barwa. It doesn't seem to be, he will play in warm-ups if it is true. Why would he not want to play
I
in
am not
warm-ups?
sure about that.
Not sure about that at all. So
I think the whole point of resting players, both from an Indian and Australian perspective, has been to ensure that they're ready for the World Cup. And teams, by the way, looking at how warm-ups have been played in the past, you expect full strength teams to be fielded.
Exactly.
Because that is when you really want to be, getting a sense of the opposition as well. And also knowing your strengths and just ensuring that everything is in place ahead of the key matches.
yeah, no freaking.
And you will see that with India as well. You will see India field strong 11s in both those matches.
You have not been blocked, freaking awesome. Not sure why they can't see my comment today. I have just seen your comment. Maybe there's a tech issue at your end, freaking awesome. I don't know. Then, it has been suggested. Akhil, suggestion and implementation. There's still a very long way in that. Many grounds maybe cannot implement
And these
it.
suggestions are often just made on the sidelines.
Yeah.
Not always the official protocol is followed or official channel through which these suggestions are made. Forget guidelines being issued. So at the moment, then given the information, if you have to go with what you're suggesting, maybe at the moment, no guidelines in fact officially have been communicated either.
Exactly. And Akash Bharadwaj was asking about Aksar's injury. No update on that at all. If Aksar's injury doesn't heal, then you may see a Washi or an Ashwin parachute back
Anoop
in.
has the question which I am tired of answering now.
Yeah.
But again, it's a question that will remain on the minds of everyone. Anoop, just to answer your question, very simply put, you rather two things over there. One, you want to copy what some of the successful teams at the moment are doing in Australia and England. Have somebody bat at number 8. Now that's one part of the answer. Second is, at the moment you don't have enough confidence in your top 7, which is why you're looking for a batting option at number 8 as well. That's the answer.
Yep. I mean, play according to your strengths, but does the Indian team know that? I really don't know at this point in time. So, okay, thanks, Amin, for suggesting my presentation. And his excitement always says Sanju Samson is out of Indian team. Well, Sanju, as I've said, plays T20Is in a World Cup, in an ODI World Cup here, plays ODIs in a T20 World Cup here. That is Sanju Samson's situation. And see, he's not even been considered in the Asian Games squad also. Forget that. He's not even been considered there.
Yeah, he was there in the West Indies series. Then you named him as a backup for the Asia Cup. You took him there as well. Then he was flown back to India. And now, surprisingly, you didn't even pick him for the Australian series. So, what is happening as far as the way that they're treating him or he's been treated in the past is one of the biggest mysteries at the moment in Indian cricket.
Exactly. Sanju, unfortunately, I'm sorry. His time is done in 2023. One hopes that he plays in 2024. And that is why Anup Konaria, I mean, this is going to be a repeat of India versus Sri Lanka in the Asia Cup.
It's a gold shield, let's say. Could be the first gold for India in this Asian Games.
But remember, in Sri Lanka, when it comes to the T20 format, they have been really good. They beat England for the first time. In England, by the way. So, yeah, I mean...
but India the favourites.
Yeah.
India the favourites.
Harmanpreet Kaur Singh coming back for that game.
Yeah.
So, that's the situation that we have. And I don't know, we haven't gotten a confirmation at this point in time as to when the team is going to come.
What is Don Bradman saying?
John Bradman is mum at this point in time. There are just a lot of questions that's been there. No particular situation.
Okay, so the umpires are out in the middle for an inspection, like we told you. So quick inspection taking place. So my estimate would be it's 242 at the moment. At around 255 tops, you'll probably be seeing the first ball after play resumes also being bowled as well.
Although it has been a 40-minute delay, if I have to look at it. It started at 2:15.
Yeah, we've been chatting for a good 25
minutes now. So that is why it's been a lengthy delay. But remember, you've got a half an hour or 40-minute grace period still after all this. So that is the situation. Akhil, we'll try and do that. But remember, it can get lost in translation, by the way. Suggestions are sometimes different than implementation.
No, suggestions may not be implemented at all.
Different thing altogether.
Yeah, suggestion can just be a suggestion. Okay, I heard you from this year, I put it out through the other one.
Yeah, exactly.
That can, but I've taken your suggestion.
Yeah,
that could also be the thing.
We have. So we'll just confirm that in the due course of time. But remember, a lot of Asian Games actions are still waiting. Harshad will be ready for India versus Myanmar. A lot of football fans will be on tenterhooks today.
India have stayed alive with that win against Bangladesh, but you need a win today to be able to progress.
And Myanmar is not an easy team to deal with. They have been very good. They defeated Bangladesh and they held China to a draw, right? Or they lost?
They defeated Bangladesh, you're right. I can't remember what happened against China though.
Yeah.
But we will be updating you with regards to that game as well. That starts at 4:30.
4:30, and India men's table tennis quarterfinals also at 4:30. But I am very sorry to say that India's men's team's journey could be over today, not because of any cynicism or anything. They are facing the second best team in the world of table tennis, South Korea. Thank God for smaller mercies that you are not taking on China. Because it was China, then we had already written the obituaries and everything and said, oh, India are already out. Because beating a Chinese table tennis team is one of the greatest feats anybody can ever achieve. Because China and table tennis, next level of dominance that's there. So
anyhow, it's been good, guys, chatting up with you.
Yep.
We await an official confirmation though as to what time you see resumption of play. But anytime now, in fact, you will expect it to start, because that inspection, as we've been told, is just about to get over.
Yeah.
And you're not looking at any overs being lost. So that should be your biggest takeaway from this particular interaction, let's say, that we've had with you. No change in playing conditions, no overs being lost. You will see match resume any moment now.
Any moment now.
For
But I
now,
will just take a small confirmation.
Okay, go ahead.
I'll just check our main Indian source what it is saying, because normally they also put it out at this point in time. What is the thing? Oh well, they themselves are stuck in a parallel universe altogether. So is Ma Long there in the Asian Games? Akash Bharat was saying no, Ma Long isn't there, but Fan Zhendong is there. He is one of the greatest table tennis players at this point in time. I've got to check. I think Ma Long is there in the men's team event, if I'm not mistaken. I think Ma Long is there. Ma Long and Fan Zhendong, good luck if you want to encounter those guys. The Dragon and the Emperor. Those are the two names that dominate. So, do Asian Games cricket stats will be included in overall statistics? Okay, yes, they will be included. It's an official T20I, and that is why it is going to be very, very important. It is counted as an official T20I. Remember,
it's an official match.
it's an official match. All the matches that are there in T20Is, be it against the Czech Republic, be it against Turkey, all of them have got the official status of T20Is. And that is why, let's check now. I think you got an update that the Super Stopper is also doing his job, and I'm getting an update somewhere that play could start at 2:55 itself. That is the thing. So 2:55 meaning you've lost 40 minutes of play, if that's the case. Not confirmed though. So that is the thing. Nowhere there as well. So
We will in fact put out a post once we have a solid confirmation. But for now, give us a leave, please, guys. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yep.
And for those of you who've not subscribed to us, yes, please do so. Do tap the bell icon, and all those folks that you see in the background, they've been doing some splendid work for you, which will reflect on the SportsTuck website and the SportsTuck app as well. Download the app, subscribe to Sports Day, subscribe to SportsTuck as well. Tap that bell icon so that you know every time we have an update for you. You know, we've been covering every sport that we possibly can.
Yes.
Play to resume at 2:55, like
and
we said.
No overs lost?
No
overs
was lost.
As I
Gives
said.
the
Good news. Very good news.
Anuj is happy, and Atishay with that confirmation for us.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're looking at no overs being lost. You've effectively lost about 45-50 minutes of play though. But good news nonetheless that there aren't any overs being lost. No change in playing conditions. And one just hopes though that India don't lose the momentum. What you often see is that these breaks end up breaking the momentum, and you get that lucky break as a fielding side. You get that break, and it happens way too often in cricket. So let's just hope that's not the case with this Indian cricket team, and hopefully they can carry on from where they left off prior to the break. Shreyas Iyer looking splendidly good. He's been a treat to watch. So has been Shubman Gill, who Shane Watson thinks is going to be the X factor for the Indian team in the World Cup.
Yep, indeed. So Shreyas Iyer looking good. Shubman Gill is also looking great. Let's see. Hope India don't lose the momentum and they carry on and do brilliantly from that point in time. So from me and Harshit here, it's bye-bye. More sporting updates coming your way very, very shortly indeed. Bye-bye.